You wake up on the cold floor of a storage cellar, your hands tied behind your back, your head pounds as you struggle to sit up. What the hell? And then it all comes flooding back. Your conversation with Dirk, his apology, getting grabbed from behind and choked out. Alright, I'm awake. Let me out of here. The door suddenly opens and Dirk steps into the room, mouth set in a firm line. Stop shouting, Faith. It's over. You've lost. I don't understand. Even if you were upset with how things were, how I was running lately, you didn't have to attack me and take me prisoner. You could have just talked to me. I did. Dirk turns away from you with a sigh, expression maudlin, as he rests his hand on a baton hooked to his belt. I wish it didn't have to come to this. I really do. But I have to think of the good of everyone in the colony. I've been in contact with Marcus Blackstock for weeks, ever since those guards found us. Call it... what? You running away to chase after a bunch of people we had no chance of saving was the last straw. While you were gone, I finalized a deal with him. Everyone gets to return to the tower. All we have to do is surrender our supplies and weapons. How can you side with Blackstock after everything he's done? You think he won't turn on you the second you aren't useful? I agreed with a lot of decisions you made. But I could never tell what you were going to do next. Blackstock's the devil, I know. I killed Angel's parents, even though she begged me not to, because I knew it was too big of a risk to bring them into the colony. That's just following the rules. Exactly! I was looking out for everyone's safety. And what about what happened to Shannon? How you left her trapped and surrounded by zombies? You mean when I was saving the daughter of the man we were trying to ally with? And even though Alea was friends with Trent, I still let the people of Ironmount kill him, because he couldn't be trusted. What about how you brought Eli back to I.O. when he'd been bitten? And even when you thought he might have turned, you still didn't take the shot. You could have brought the whole colony down if he was infected. I mean, if one man can bring down a whole colony, maybe we just deserve to fall. What about all the faith I put in you to handle the colony renovations? I always tried to take your suggestions into account when I was making decisions about what to build up around I.O. It still wouldn't have been enough not to survive the solstice. Why did you even tell me that story about Patricia and give me her compass if you were going to screw me over? I wanted to try and see you as she did, as a leader. I promised her I'd protect you, but... Look, I get that you've been having a hard time. It hasn't been easy leaving the tower, losing people along the way. Actually, we've only lost just her sister, that's about it. You could have asked me how I was. I did multiple times, but you just got angry with me, so I tried to give you space to work it out on your own. Dirk, you can still make this right. All you have to do is let me go, and then we can take out Blackstock together. Oh, no, see, that's not gonna work. I'm sorry, Faith. I'm sorry, really. But you'll thank me for it later. Dirk draws the baton out of his belt, points it at you, and the end of it sparks with electricity. Well, this looks like it's gonna hurt. I don't want you to get hurt, Faith, so please make this easy on yourself and cooperate. He's almost at the door when you remember that there's something else you need to tell him. Dirk, Patricia's alive. He stops in his tracks. What? I saw her at the Hive. They did something to her, but she doesn't remember anything, but it was her. Dirk turns and stares at you for a long moment. Then he's out the door, slamming it behind him and leaving you alone again. I probably had to go confirm. Hopefully you're all having a great day. Welcome to Wake the Dead. Chapter... come on, a little faster. 18. In the dim light, you search the room for something you can help that can help you escape. Most of it's junk, and while you might be able to make a weapon with your hands bound, it's basically useless. There's gotta be something. And then your eyes fall on a blue glass bottle perched on the edge of a high shelf. If I knock that loose and break it, I could use the glass to cut those damn ropes. The noise will probably draw some attention, but that at least give me a chance to hit the first person I see when they finally drag me out of here. Shatter a glass bottle to escape your bonds and get revenge on the people who screwed you over. Let those jerks have it. Someone's gotta make them pay. Struggling to your feet, you rush. At the wall the shelf is on. Slam your shoulder into it, wincing at the impact. Urgh. The glass bottle crashes to the ground behind you, shattering into a dozen pieces. Better move fast, there's no way someone didn't hear that. You stoop down, looking among the glass for a piece large enough to use as a makeshift knife. You twist your body so you can reach the shard with your bound hands, and grasping it carefully, you begin sawing through the rope as you hear footsteps approaching. Crap, I don't have much time. You saw even faster, barely keeping from cutting your open your palm until the rope finally falls away. Yes! You kick the broken glass and torn rope under a table and get your hands behind your back, just as a door is thrown open and 2 tower guards in full gear step in. The hell was that sound? Well, nice outfits, boys. I don't know if you noticed, but this building is ancient. Old buildings make noise. Whatever. One guard hauls you on your feet, gripping your shoulder hard enough to bruise as he shoves you forward. I can walk on my own. Shut it! I'm going for Peterson first. They march you up a set of stairs and into one of the lodge's hallways, where you're greeted by a smiling Marcus Blackstock. The prodigal daughter returns at last. Alongside him stands Dirk. Your misguided ways have led you down the wrong path. I'm here to set you right. I'll show you what's right. Breaking free of the guard's grasp, you rush forward, drawing your hand back in a clenched fist. Yeah, no, I still have hate for him. You slam a punch right into Blackstock's face. The bridge of his glass is snapping as your knuckles connect with his nose. Ugh! The guards spring into action, drag you back, but the skin below both of Blackstock's eyes is already turning a deep shade of purple. That's called a broken nose. That's for all the people you murdered, you bastard. Always so reliant on violence. Like you aren't. A trail of blood drips out of his nose. He wipes it on the back of his hand with a furious scowl, leaving a smear across his upper lip. You missed a spot. Quite enough of that, I think. You've said your piece, now it's my turn. Said my piece? I haven't even started. Blackstock stalks up to you, takes your chin in his hand, forcing you to look up at him. I hope you've enjoyed playing leader these past few weeks, but I cannot allow this to continue. He pats your cheek condescendingly. Don't fret, I'll make sure everyone here is welcomed into the tower. If you think I'm gonna go back to living in the prison, you've got another thing coming. I'm afraid you won't be coming, after all. I can't just let someone who openly defied me run around without consequence. You'll meet your end outside. Wait, what? That wasn't part of our agreement. Faith is supposed to come with us. Sometimes examples have to be made for the good of everyone to ensure the tower's survival. Though I suppose I owe you thanks, Faith, for all those new subjects and supplies. I'm truly grateful. Blackstock. My people will never follow you. They'll see you for who you really are, a dictator who only looks out for himself. It is my leadership that has kept the people of the tower safe for many years. Soon they will all understand that some people must be lost for the rest of us to thrive. Blackstock signals the guards, but as they shove you forward, Dirk steps up. Blackstock, please reconsider. I promise I'll keep Faith in line. You don't need to kill her. If only I could. But she has strayed too far. But don't forget where your loyalties lie, Dirk. Dirk looks from you to Blackstock, then hangs his head and steps aside as the guards drag you down the hall and out of the lodge. Thanks, Dirk. Outside, it seems like the whole colony is gathered under the watchful eye of tower guards with machine guns. You spot your friends near the front, and as soon as they see you, they make a rush forward. Faith! We're coming! You're not going anywhere, but as soon as they move, the guards descend on them, forcing Eli and Angel to the ground while keeping a hold of Troy and Shannon. Get off! You bastards, I'll kill you! No, leave them alone. The guards kick your legs out from under you, knocking you to your knees. One of them moves to flank Blackstock as he steps forward, while the other draws a gun, keeping it trained on you. If that's the last of the outbursts. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Marcus Blackstock, the leader of the tower, a colony not far from here. Isn't that where Faith was from? Indeed! The woman you see here came from my very colony. She was but a child when I took her in. But she wasn't content with all I had given her. Even after years of kindness, she turned on her fellows. That's not. Blackstock simply speaks over you. I am sad to say that she risked all of your lives and pursued power and personal glory. Faith has never been out for glory. She looked after us when we were under a threat. And this place wouldn't be nearly as well prepared if it weren't for her leadership. Faith has always helped those in need. That is why so many of us have found a home here. High morale kept everyone on your side. That's right. Seems like everyone's still on my side, but they'll never start a fight with these guards on their own. Faith is the only reason most of us are alive. Blackstock's just biding his time. The moment one of us becomes inconvenient to him, he'll have us killed. It's then you notice Sledge in the corner of your eye, standing behind one of the pillars on the deck so that you're the only one with a clear view of her. You glance up at the guard beside you, and while their gun is still pointed at you, their head is looking directly at Blackstock, paying no mind to you. You slowly scoot towards the pillar, keeping your eyes on the guard as you do, until you're close enough to whisper. Sledge, you've got to do something, otherwise Blackstock's gonna take over. And why aren't you doing anything? You're the leader of this colony, aren't you? If I step in and help you now, it will only make you look weak. So you just expect me to die? I expect you to fight. If you want Io back, you need to take it back. Show these people why you deserve to lead them. A good leader always has people next to him that help them see the vision, you know? Sledge meets your eyes and you give her a stiff nod. She steps back as Blackstock turns to you, up unholstering his pistol. It's such a shame it had to come to this, but you left me no choice. Blackstock raises the gun to your temple, the cold barrel pressed against your skin. Your heart hammers in your chest, and somewhere in the crowd, Shannon screams, "No! Get your hands off her!" Any last words, Faith Reeves? Wait. He raises an eyebrow and lowers the gun. I'm afraid there will be no begging your way out of this, but if you wish to admit your wrongdoings, I'll ensure it's quick and painless. Well, if you put a gun to someone's temple and you threaten to pull the trigger, wouldn't that be painless? Like, it's kind of just over. No. You look out at the members of your colony as you speak. I just want everyone to know that leaving the tower was worth it. You turn back to Blackstock, glaring at him with all the rage and hatred you can muster. And that one day, Blackstock, your cruelty will lead to your downfall. Blackstock throws back his head and laughs. While he's distracted, you maneuver the multi-tool you got from the dissected the siren out of your boot, keeping it hidden behind your back. Too bad you won't be around to see it. That's where you're wrong. Stab him. You surge to your feet, swing the knife right at the side of his head. He barely manages to catch your arm, causing the blade to tear across his face. From his temple to his jaw, he crashes to the ground. If only they would have included that, you know. Chaos erupts as the distracted tower guards move to help their leader, only to be attacked by some of the people they're supposed to be guarding. Get him! A guard rushes between you and Blackstock, only for an arrow to sink into his leg, followed by another one that goes right through his neck. Oh, Loggins! No! I was really hoping to take you out myself. Keep them away from Faith! Blackstock struggles to get back to his feet, blood smeared across his forehead and gun lying in the dirt nearby. I'm gonna kick his gun away. Rushing forward, you kick the butt of the gun, sending it skittering across the ground out of Blackstock's reach. With a furious snarl, he grabs hold of your leg and yanks you down beside him. I don't need a gun to end you. Listen, I never needed a gun to end you in the first place. He climbs on top of you and slams his knee in your stomach, the pain making you curl inward. While you're stunned, he wraps his hands around your neck, and his full weight crushes your windpipe as he squeezes. I will not be brought down by the likes of you. You claw at his hands and arms, leaving bloody scratches behind, but his grip doesn't falter as he glares down at you. People really need to learn how to defend against this maneuver, I'm serious. Distantly, you're aware of the people screaming your name, but you're unable to see them as the edges of your vision blur. Goodbye, Faith Reeves. Your lungs burn with a need for air. The darkness begins to close in around you, leaving only the angry face of Blackstock. Oh my god, finally. Poke him in the eyes! Even as the strength leaves your arm, you reach for his face, clawing past his glasses to dig your fingers into his eyes. Urgh! He cries out and lets go of your throat to hold his face. Then you use the last of your energy to shove him off of you. You gasp in a breath and scramble backwards, putting distance between the two of you as the world seems to spin. Head pounding, you whip around and find Blackstock's gun lying on the porch. You lunge forward to grab it at the exact moment he does, his hand landing on the barrel as yours lands on the handle. Give it to me. Yeah, you know I'm gonna abide and give it to you. Oh, I'm gonna give it to you, alright. You wrestle over the gun, each of you trying to pry it from the other, but even as you shove at his face, tearing your fingernails across it, he doesn't relent. Your heartbeat thumps in your ears, adrenaline surging, but still your grip begins to slip. No. It's over. With a sudden show of force, he grabs the gun with both hands and yanks when... boom! A gunshot goes off. You both look between you, with your hands still on the gun, splatter with blood. Your clothes rapidly turn red, and for a moment, time seems to slow. Then Blackstock sinks to his knees, a circular wound on his chest. Blood pours across the wooden porch as he stares up at you. The once formidable Marcus Blackstock watches you, with eyes full of fear, and your stomach churns as he draws in a final shuddering breath, and slumps to the floor. You stare down at the lifeless body of a man who saved you once when you were a child, and who went to such lengths to have you killed, and it all comes back. The people he fed to the zombies, how you were almost one of them. You look on Nina's face as his men shot her down, that you only lost Patricia because of him, and how relentless he pursued you. Enough. You fire a shot into the air, and the fighting ceases as everyone turns to see Blackstock's body. The few tower guards still standing look around and bolt for the walls. Blackstock is dead. The tyrant is dead. He deserved a far worse fate for all of the atrocities he committed. But this is what happens to those who crave power over lives. We put an end to them. Oh God, we've got to get out of here. Yeah, you better run your little bitch ass on. As you gaze over the crowd, you spot the traitors running for the walls, but Elaine and her knights quickly intercept them. And where do you think you're going? We weren't... Just let us go. We won't bother you again. You will face justice for your crimes. Her knights march all of the traitors up to the lodge, forcing them to their knees in front of you while everyone else watches. Do you have anything else to say for yourselves? Faith, I was just trying to keep everyone safe, to make sure we all made it through the solstice. I had no idea Blackstock was planning to kill you. And you call me naive? If I'd known, I never would have agreed to any of this. We were just following his orders. He's the one responsible, not us. These people betrayed you once, and they'll do it again. Putting them down is the only way to assure they don't cause more trouble. You can't just kill them. They could have gotten us all killed. People make mistakes. They deserve a chance to change.
to prove they can be better. And with the solstice tomorrow, we need as many on our side as we can get.
I'd rather have a handful of soldiers I know I can trust than an army of rats like these. And their supplies can go to someone more deserving.
I don't want to be like Blackstock. Little tiny optimist voice in me says, spare them. What? Feather, it wasn't you. It's not reason. It's just blind optimism, which gets a lot of people killed.
I'm happy you've seen reason. There's no need for senseless violence.
The group slowly gets their feet, standing about awkwardly. Don't just stand there, get to work.
Of course, right away.
Thank you, Faith. I won't let you down again. As they head for the lodge, Sled scowls and pushes past you.
This was a mistake, and you'll regret it when they turn the knife on you.
She stalks off towards the garage. The other raiders follow after. Aaliyah claps you on the shoulder. Don't mind her. Feather was right. The more fighters we have, the better. Exactly. Killing them now would be doing the zombies' job for them. With that over, your friends rush up to launch, worry and relief painted on their faces.
Faith, are you alright? They didn't hurt you, did they?
Angel suddenly pulls you into a tight hug, crushing you against her chest. This is how I die. Death by boobas.
You're still here. You're still real. How dare those bastards lay a single hand on you?
By the way, shouldn't we be going around and making sure that, the people don't turn into, blood-sucking zombies? Because, you gotta aim for the head, right? I thought they were gonna make us watch. She reaches out and takes one of your hands between hers. If I'd lost you... Eli stands off to the side watching you all, but saying nothing. Yeah, we know you love me, you big lug. Eli? He meets your gaze, his eyes clouded with concern.
Just glad you're alright.
They roughed me up a little bit, but that doesn't matter now. Right now, we need to finish preparing for the solstice. Blackstock cost us valuable time. And so did Dirk, if you remember. You lead them all out on the lawn, looking at everything you've built up so far. We should reinforce the area around the gate. That's where the zombies are the most likely to break through. We still got some leftover lumber. We could carve them up and rig them together to create some spiked barricades. Those would be good for taking out a large number of drones. It'll tear right through their weak flesh.
Or we could take one of the raiders' machine guns, mount it on the wall, and turn it into a turret.
We're limited on ammo, but it would be able to down soldiers and scouts.
We gotta think about bullets. Both lead to the same thing, fortifications, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Soldiers and scouts we can take out with snipers, people who are trained. But, yeah, this makes sense. It's a constant renewable source of protection against the wall. The less damage against the wall, the more you can focus on the external sources. You all need to get working on that. I need to do one last walk through the colony and make sure nothing gone missing. If you're sure. As you cross the lawn, you spot a small pair of legs poking out from one of the shipping containers. Once you get closer, you realize it's May, her arms wrapped tightly around her knees. May, what are you doing out here? For the second time in the day. Weren't you out there when everything happened with the tower, or were you? No. When those guys in black all showed up, Feather told me and the other kids to hide out here. Where are the rest of the kids? They went back to the lodge. I heard all the fighting, just like the night with all the zombies. Even when it was over, I thought I'd be safer here. You gently take her hand and help her back onto her feet. Why don't I walk you back then? You crest the hill to find a number of children playing outside of the garage. When they spot you, they immediately run in your direction.
Faith, Faith! What can we do? What can we do?
Keep being kids, kids. Everyone else is helping out before the solstice, but we still don't have jobs. You kids don't need to worry. The grown-ups will take care of everything.
But we want to help. We promise we won't get in anyone's way. We're really good at crafts.
Crafts are pretty cool, but I'm not sure they can protect us from zombies.
Darn. Hey, hang on. I saw some pretty wildflowers back behind the lodge. It's really shadowy back there, but if we brought them out here, they'd really shine.
That could help boost everyone's spirits.
Feathers always says we all have to do our part, so can we help, please?
Let me guess, diamond choice? What is going on? Tutorial, let the kids build flower beds to add your morale score and unlock special bonus moments throughout the rest of the story. Oh, that's cool. See, Pixelberry can do, like, really cool things like this, even though it's like a lot of other mobile games, right? Where little things and decisions can add to details, but yeah, no, that was, I like it. As long as you get someone to supervise.
Woohoo! Thank you, Faith.
May gives your legs a big hug and then runs off to follow the other kids around the back of the lodge. Later that afternoon, you step outside to find the wooden flower beds full of brightly colored flowers. Feather watches as the kids cut out triangles of bright fabric to make the garland.
See, we told you we could help.
I handled all the hammering. Didn't want anyone accidentally hitting their finger.
Do you like it, Faith?
No, it's horrible. It's ugly. No, I'm kidding. It's pretty. I like flowers. I like nature. It's amazing. I can't believe you all did this in a few hours.
Do you think everyone else will like it?
I think this is exactly what they need right now, and they're gonna love it. Alright, you little rascals, let's leave Faith alone and go get some dinner. That night, you're looking out over the weapon storage in the lodge when Feather comes up behind you, puts his hand on your shoulder.
You should get some rest, Faith.
I will. I'm just gonna double check.
It ain't gonna make much of a difference at this point.
Walt takes a seat on the couch in front of a fire next to Alea, who sharpens a sword.
We've been preparing for weeks. Everything's been looked over twice at this point. I made sure of it.
You need to get plenty of sleep if you want to be in shape to lead the battle tomorrow. Get some sleep. What about the rest of you? It's not fair for me to go to bed if you're all still up. We'll be heading there ourselves shortly. At this point, I believe the only other people awake are those on guard duty.
Which includes me. I'm set to sound the alarm through the lodge if drones are spotted. See? Everything's covered.
Fine, fine. I'm going. You cross the lobby and head upstairs towards your bedroom. Anxiety churning your stomach as you think about all the preparations you've made. Let me guess, we're gonna get bout chicka wow wow with one person before the inevitable. At least everyone has been getting along. That sense of community will definitely help them work together. We've all had the full bellies for last week. People have strength to fight, or run, if it comes to that. You pass by a window, and you peer out into the dark, unable to see the walls out of the edge of I.O. The Horde will have a hard time getting through our walls, and even if they do, there are plenty of obstacles to slow them down. Your colonists are well prepared. Our fighting forces shouldn't have any problem with the drones. Even the mutated zombies will have a hard time bringing them down. Your mind wanders back to the zombie hive, to seeing the queen and your sister. With all the knowledge we've gained, we've figured out the best ways to take down each of the different zombies. That should help us win. Honestly, there's no telling what will happen tomorrow. You reach to the door to your room, but pause outside of it, thinking of your friends scattered throughout the lodge in their own rooms. Troy, your best friend since childhood. Shannon, always searching for answers. Eli, who slowly has opened up to you. Angel, wild and fiercely protective. Sledge, an unexpected comfort these last few weeks. Maybe I don't have to be alone tonight. I'm sure just being with someone else would make me feel better. And depending on how tomorrow goes, I may not get another chance. Visit one or more of those you care about to a heartfelt discussion and take comfort in their presence. I'm sure we're gonna really take comfort in Sledge's presence. Oh, look at that! This will be your last chance to spend time alone with them in the book. Visit Sledge. You step outside into the chilly night air and find Sledge seated next to the fire pit, the flames casting a warm glow over her face. You're still awake.
So are you.
You stare into the firelight when Sledge suddenly gets to her feet and heads towards the lawn.
Come on.
You follow her across the grass, and on top of one of the shipping containers, she tosses you a bottle of beer before sitting down, legs dangling off the edge of the metal roof.
Drink.
I swear to God, she's like part cave woman. You sit down beside her before popping off the cap and taking a sip. While Sledge does the same, she watches you silently waiting. I just can't stop thinking about how tomorrow, or well, tonight, might be your last night ever.
Any night could be.
Pretty sure mine would have come a while ago if it weren't for you. We hardly know each other, and yet you've gone to such lengths for me. I don't get it.
What's not to get?
It's just, you made it clear you didn't approve of me and the others leaving in the first place.
I didn't.
It was a, I'm not allowed to say this word because it's YouTube, mission. But then you came after us. You put yourself and the others at risk to go into a zombie hive to find us, when we might have already been dead. Sledge sets her drink down and crosses her arms. Yes, I know, it's ridiculous.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe you secretly care? Behind that gruff exterior, you're a big old softy.
You're delusional.
Admit it, Sledge, you care about me.
You're making this too complicated.
Then why did you come? Giggity.
Because you asked me to.
She snatches her beer up and takes a long swig.
And if you're wondering why I've done any of this, giving you a chance to prove yourself, the Alliance, I suppose it's because I see some of my old self in you.
But we're so different. You've said it yourself.
You think you're the only person who started out idealistic? When I first became the leader of the Raiders, I thought it was going to change how we did things. Be more open to alliances and sharing.
What happened?
Reality. A group we'd allied with called for aid. Zombies swarmed out of a cave and attacked them every night, so I sent some of my raiders to help.
She scowls, nostrils flaring with anger, so her fist tightens around the beer bottle.
I thought naively that they'd all work together, but rather than put themselves at risk, they sent my men in there alone and got them all killed. They betrayed us.
Sledge.
I learned then that the only ones I could trust were me and my family.
What happened to the people you were allied with?
I spared them. And unsurprisingly, in a few months' time, they attacked our base to try and steal supplies for themselves. Tell me that doesn't sound familiar.
Dirk and them aren't going to betray us again.
You say that now, but give it time. Just realize, like I did, what it takes to survive.
Sledge. Everyone's similar. Really, think about it. We all have the capacity for good and evil inside of us. So, we're similar, but then we're not, because we've made different choices. You're brutal and cruel and, well, I didn't want to go that far.
Shooting Blackstock wasn't brutal.
You were the one who told me to fight back, to show I was a capable leader.
You listened.
Oh, you're so... You take a long drink of your beer. I don't know why I thought coming out here was gonna make me feel better.
If you wanted empty platitudes and false promises, you came to the wrong place.
I figured you'd at least tell me that we stand half of a chance, and that we've done all we can to prepare.
Would that help?
No.
Didn't think so.
Tomorrow we'll find out if all the work we've done was enough. And even if it is, how many people are we gonna lose? Maybe I could have done more. What if Blackstock was right? What if I'm not fit to be a leader?
You're a hell of a lot more qualified than that pissant.
Everyone's gonna be looking at me to keep the zombies out, to keep them safe. I don't want to let them down.
There's nothing I can say that's gonna make you feel better about tomorrow. It scares you, and it should. I'd be more concerned if you weren't afraid.
But how the hell am I supposed to get ready to fight when I'm so nervous I can't even sleep?
Do something to take your mind off of it.
Sledge abruptly hops off the edge of the container, feet landing on the grass below with a soft thud. With a sigh, you join her.
You can't control your thoughts, but you can control your actions.
Then...
You haven't even finished your first one.
You bring the bottle to your lips, chug the rest of it down before tossing the bottle into the side of the shipping container, shattering it. There. Finished it. The Sledge's lips twitch in what it almost seems like a smile.
Just one more.
You have something against me being drunk?
You're not any good to me hungover.
Passes you another bottle, and the two of you drink in silence for a few minutes. Listen, I don't think anyone's gonna get drunk off 2 bottles of beer. Thanks, Sledge, for keeping me company.
Don't mention it.
Next selection is Angel. After making the long climb up Angel's room, you find her folding up layers and layers of cloth in a pile on the floor. You took down your blanket for it? Why? Angel startles slightly, apparently so absorbed in her task that she didn't notice you come in.
Sorry, if I had known you were so attached, I would have warned you first.
I'm just surprised, that's all. I thought you were attached to it.
I just figured it's time. Out with the old and all that.
Yeah, I guess tomorrow a lot of things are gonna change. Some of us might not even be here afterwards.
You don't have to worry about that, Faith. I'll be by your side the whole time, keeping the Z-bags off your ass.
Angel, you don't really have to do that. I don't want you putting yourself at risk, just to... The neighbor outside is really annoying me. Hold on.
Who said anything about me risking myself?
Literally every fight I've ever been in with you. Angel scoffs her foot against the floor, refusing to meet your gaze.
I've got to make sure you make it out alive, Faith. There's no point in surviving if you're not here.
That's not true.
It is. I never would have left the mall without you. I never would have made friends. I never would have felt all these feelings.
Oh god, feelings, the feelings, oh no! Angel, there will still be other people who...
No, you're the only one I care about.
Angel... We can protect each other, then. You decapitate a drone for me, I'll kill a scout for you. It's all bodies under a zombie bridge, no?
I guess I can live with that. Just don't do anything reckless to keep me safe.
Ditto, then. Pretty sure that's my line. Angel rolls her eyes, but laughs.
I'll try, but you know I just can't resist a badass maneuver. You're stuck with me, so get used to it.
I made my peace with that long, long ago. The satisfied smile, Angel goes back to putting away her things. You notice one item is set aside, the mask she wore back when you first met her. Are you wearing this tomorrow?
Figured I would. Show those zombies I'm the toughest creature out there.
Sure scared the crap out of us when we first met you. Did you make it yourself? She picks up the mask with a surprised gentleness and turns it over in her hands.
I did. It's an Oni mask. We had one in our house when I was a kid, along with some other stuff my grandparents brought over from Japan. We had books on folklore and fables, and the Oni were always my favorite.
What are they? Oh, you don't know what an Oni is? Oh, how dare you not play Phasma?
They're like an ogre. They're huge, horns, tusks, a taste for flesh. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, they're kind of like soldiers, they're just cooler looking.
So, they just eat people?
Sometimes, but mostly they run around being scary and killing livestock.
You really know a lot about this.
Thank my parents for that. They were big on old stories, and I mean old.
Why didn't you tell me... your favorite old story? Angel ponders it for a second. Then her eyes light up and she turns to face you, head on, straightening her shoulders.
Once upon a time, there was a red Oni who just wanted to be friends with humanity.
Hang on, I thought Oni were supposed to be super scary and evil.
In the old days they were, but in regular old days, the people started thinking they were just misunderstood. Anyway, whenever the red Oni tried to make friends with humans, they screamed and run. This made the red Oni really sad. His friends, the blue Oni, came up with a plan to help. He'd attack a village and the red Oni could defeat him and look like a hero.
So the blue Oni sacrificed himself for his friend?
Yep. When the red Oni saw that the blue one was going to attack the humans, he stopped him. The humans saw this and thanked him. Then the blue Oni left, knowing that his friend was happy, and then the red Oni, realizing what had happened, wept with gratitude.
That's really beautiful, Angel. You really have a way with words. Angel beams, face flushing a little at your praise.
I always considered myself more of an actions kind of gal.
For a second, you smile at each other. You're taken aback by the fire in her eyes and the unwavering brightness of her smile.
I know I should be scared out of my mind about tomorrow, but knowing you'll be there, I feel like I can take on anything.
Reaches for your hand and you offer it. Her calloused fingers are surprisingly soft as they intertwine with yours.
But even with that, I doubt I'll be able to sleep a wink.
You too, huh? Well, I can think of a few ways we can pass some time, no sleep required. She arches an eyebrow, intrigued.
So far, I like where this is going.
We should stay up playing games. If this is the last night of our lives, we might as well make it count, right?
Seriously, Faith, sometimes I think we're two people sharing the same brain, and I know exactly what we can play.
She rummages around on the shelf behind her, pulling out a weathered board game box with the word guess barely legible on the side.
I found it under some rubble. From what I can tell, you could describe a person, and the other person has to guess who they are. Only all the faces were worn off, so I wrote a bunch of names so people we know on both sides.
You laugh as Angel takes out the board and places it in front of you. Sure enough, you see a bunch of plastic pieces with the names Troy and Sledge written on them.
I'll go first. My person is a rough, broody type.
Eli?
What? Okay, that was too easy. Let me pick again.
Uh-huh. It was. The two of you play the game for hours on end, laughing at each other's descriptions of your comrades until your bellies ache. You spend the night. Alright, let's see here. I'll go with Troy. You wrap your knuckles on Troy's bedroom door, and when you don't get an answer, you crack it open to peek inside. For a split second, you catch a glimpse of his unguarded expression, worry creasing his forehead. Everything okay in here? Troy startles a bit when he realizes you're here, but his signature smirk lights his face up in a flash. Everything okay? Come on, who are you talking to here? You cross the room to sit beside him at the foot of his bed, and then nudge him gently with your shoulder. Way to dodge the question. What can I say? I'm as slippery as they come. Troy. His facade slips for just a moment, then grin turns into a frown. You've got enough to worry about. You don't need to listen to my problems. I want to. You rest a gentle hand on his arm, and he sighs heavily, passing a hand over his face. Truth is, I guess I'm scared, Faith. Scared of what's going to happen tomorrow. Scared of all that we could lose. Troy, I know how you feel. And here I thought nothing scared you. Are you kidding? Everyone's looking to me to tell me what to do. I'm terrified of making a mistake and getting people killed. I trust you, Faith. We all do. And I trust you. I trust that what we've built here, and everyone fighting at our side, but odds are we're still gonna lose good people. And there's a chance. Cuts himself off, wincing for a long moment. He's silent, his shoulders drooping under some invisible weight. And then, I can't lose you, Faith. I just can't. Hearing your name on the radio that night when I was fleeing the tower, if they'd caught you, I could have never forgiven myself. Troy, you're my best friend, Faith. I can't imagine trying to get by without you. Sweet. You put your hand on his shoulder and squeeze it gently, drawing his gaze to you. Troy, I'm not going anywhere. Not if I can help it. Besides, I'll have you watch my back, so I've got nothing to worry about. He smiles. His smile gradually returns and gently bumps his shoulder against yours. Not like you actually need my help. I could use it right now. I feel like I'm never going to be able to get some sleep if I don't stop thinking about all the things that could happen tomorrow. His eyes hull but glow in the low, warm lighting, his expression soft and wondering. Well, in that case, how about some good old-fashioned escapism? As I recall, you used to love my stories. I still do. Tell me your favorite memory of us. I'm in the mood for nostalgia, maybe a little flattery. Of all of you to assume my favorite memory is a flattering one. Please don't tell me it isn't the time I ran face first into a pole while we were running away from the guards. That's a pretty good one, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Mittens as my favorite memory. You mean the raccoon we thought was a cat? We used to bring some spare rations so she could feed her kittens? Now, when the adults found out, they all lost their minds over it. How could you mistake a disease-carrying raccoon for a cat? Listen, anything can be disease-carrying, okay? Leave the poor raccoons alone. It's not like we'd never seen a real cat. And it didn't matter to you that she wasn't one. Mittens was our friend, and she needed to screw what the others said. That's when I learned how unbelievably good you are. I realized you do anything to protect the ones you care about. As dark and dangerous as our lives have been, you've always been a bright spot in mine. If I'm the bright spot, then you're the damn sun, no matter what happens to me. Nothing is gonna happen to you. I'll rephrase. No matter what happens in the future, I need you to know you've made my life one hell of an adventure. Adventure is kind of a loaded word these days. Not when it's with you. Almost imperceptibly, Troy shifts closer to you on the bed. When he moves into the light, his long, dark eyelashes cast mesmerizing shadows across his face. Can you stick around for a while? I know we've got a lot to prepare for. It's nice having you here. I can stay. Let's keep talking for a while. Tell me another story. Oh man, there was this one time some guy tried to con me into buying his pack of double mint. What the hell is double mint? How dare. It's gum, which is a flavored substance you're supposed to chew but not swallow. What's the point of chewing something you can't eat? Fresh breath or something? Talk about old world problems. Anyway, this guy tried to convince me his gum was some kind of super ration. This here will keep you grown man fit for a week, he says. As if I can't see straight through his BS. So what, you sent him packing? Too easy. I offered to trade his ration for my fine men's cologne that was guaranteed to get him laid. Long story short, I have my end of a stale pack of gum, but at least I'm not the tool who sprayed glass cleaner all over my neck. Hey, listen, if you're dirty, glass cleaner might just do it. Oh my god, he didn't. Troy's stories spin endlessly into the night, making you laugh so hard your stomach hurts. See, not everything has to be about Bounce Chicka Wow Wow. Just saying. Doesn't always have to be about it. You make your way to Shannon's room, knocking on the door, and it takes a moment before she opens it, rubbing her eyes and yawning. Oh, Faith! Yeah, at least you're getting some sleep, apparently. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. You didn't? I was actually going over my research again, making sure I didn't miss anything. I'm pretty sure I couldn't sleep even if I tried. I know the feeling. You step into Shannon's room, smiling at the flowers hanging on the wall before you both take a seat on the edge of the bed. You notice how everyone's taking a seat on the edge of the bed, opening up the option for Bounce Chicka Wow Wow, though? Yep. We would be depleted and very tired by the time we were done with all, 6 people. What's keeping you up? You mean apart from the obvious? To be honest, I'm afraid of the nightmares. They've been worse since we got back from the hive. Shannon, the idea of having to face those tonight and the real nightmare tomorrow, it's just too much. But enough about me. Why'd you come up here? You take one of Shannon's hands gently between your own, rubbing your thumb over the back of her knuckles. I just wanted to say, in case this is the last time, no. No. I don't want to do goodbyes. I don't think I can handle it. Why don't we talk about the future instead? All the stuff we're gonna do after tomorrow's over. Are we talking in a few weeks or years? Either. You must have thought about it before, right? At least back at the tower? I never really thought about it. Really? I mean, other than joining the scouts, it was all about getting through the next day. I didn't have time to think about more than that. Not to mention days at the tower were practically the same, boring and miserable. And what about now? I'm pretty focused on getting the colony ready for the solstice. So maybe my future plans are just to make some. Back at the outpost, most of my thoughts are about the future, revolved around finding a cure for the parasite and what would happen after. Why am I not surprised? And I still want that, of course. I just started thinking more about what I want for myself now. To be honest, it's kind of hard. I'm so used to looking out for other people and just doing what's best for them. What have you come up with so far? She breaks out in a huge grin. Angel was telling me about a pepper so spicy it makes you cry, and I really want to try one. Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No. That is definitely not what I expected. Peppers are biologically fascinating. They become spicy to avoid being eaten, but that just made humans want to eat them. Because humans are stupid. You know it's true. You know it's true. Like, some of these people, they eat things that literally, just make them like, turn red and in pain. And they're like, yeah, I'll never do that again, but by God, I mean, I knew the warning beforehand, but yeah, let's go. Like, no. No, just stop. Like, a little spice is fine, but pain spice? No. There's a balance, fam. And I'm not sure if there are any left around here, but I'd also like to see a porcupine. Oh, just because their quills look like needles? Not just. Is that it so far? Well, maybe you can help me come up with some more ideas. How do you feel about, traveling? Further than Reno? Well, there's a giant, big ocean out to the west and a ton of land to the east, not to mention all the abandoned cities along the way. Just imagine all the cool stuff that we could find exploring all that. Like, new books. I was thinking more about weapons and old technology, but books are good too. Hang on, how did we end up talking about me again? I like talking about you. Well, I want to talk about you. I can't imagine what you're going through right now. It still doesn't feel real. I had just started to accept that Patricia was gone, and now she's back, but it's not her, not really. I'm so sorry, Faith. I've been trying to get a better understanding of the jelly that was in her pod, but there just wasn't enough time. Is that what you were looking at when I got here? She gives a small nod. I was able to save Patricia before, or wasn't. I hoped this time would be different. You and me both. She leans her shoulder against yours as she gently squeezes one of your hands. Is there anything else I can do to help? Right now, I just want to sleep. Well, you're welcome to stay here. I don't think that bed is big enough for the two of us. Oh, I was planning to look over my notes one more time. And that's exactly why I'm gonna take the bed. Or I'm not. You need to sleep too. I think it'd be easier to get to bed if I wasn't alone. Well, then I guess I have no choice but to stay. I'll go visit Eli, the final one! I like how we just can't have full body images of them. We get little, you know... Anyway. You make your way to Eli's bedroom and knock quietly on the door and open it a moment later, expression unreadable.
You should be resting.
I know. And so shouldn't you. Without another word, he holds the door open for you to step inside. He picks up his bow and starts checking it over as the two of you sit quietly on the bed. I keep thinking about how this might be our last night together. I almost lost you before with the zombie bite, and I don't want to leave anything left unsaid between us, in case.
In case one of us doesn't make it.
I care about you, Eli, a lot.
Faith.
And if I'm gonna die tomorrow, I'm so glad that I met you.
I feel the same. I never wanted to get attached, but you make me want to talk about things I tried to forget. About things I never told anyone.
You can tell me about your past, about your family. I mean, you told me what happened to them, but I want to know what they were like. I want to hear more about your mom.
She was the most organized person I've ever met.
More organized than Shannon?
She made lists for everything. What needed to be done around the house, what food we needed to forage for dinner. One time I found her sorting our books in alphabetical order to relax.
Ah, so she suffers from the, yeah, okay. Hi, welcome to me at times. It depends on if anxiety and everything else, you know? I'm starting to see why you're so detail-oriented.
She never complained about the world ending. Not like my dad did. I think part of her enjoyed the freedom. She wanted the best for us. She worked for it. But sometimes that meant she wasn't at home as much as she wanted to be.
I forgot you were old enough to remember life before the outbreak. That must have been kind of hard adjustment as a kid. At least it was for Patricia.
I prefer the zombies. Life in the old world wasn't all it was cut out to be.
What do you mean?
Everyone acts like the old world was a perfect place where everyone got along, but it wasn't.
Oh, no shit.
People were divided long before the parasite showed up. Money, class, but especially race.
Oh, you're forgetting the one thing, gender. No joke.
And the world ending only made it worse.
You don't have to tell me. I'm old enough to remember every dehumanizing name Patricia and I were called just for asking for help. The tower was supposed to be our new world miracle, and you saw how that turned out. What was life like for you before?
Well, my mom was white, my dad was black. Most people around here were okay with that, but there were plenty who weren't. I'll never forget the man who took one look at me and David and told my mother that my father had ruined her. Like my father's skin color had somehow cost her the value as a human being.
That doesn't surprise me. If there's one thing I've seen time and time again, it's how people will find ways to get power and use that power to put others down. We saw it with the Raiders, Sunflower Creek, and again with Trent and Ironmount.
It's only a matter of time before they find something to divide us again.
The solstice is the only thing keeping us united, but once it's over, I'm sure they'll be back at each other's throats. Like the threat of the parasite is somehow gone. Yeah, no shit. No, God, Pixelberry, for once we're on the same wavelength. Eli tests the tensions on the string of his bow before he sets it aside and turns to you.
Do you want to talk about Patricia?
It's not going to change anything. I still can't really believe it, that she's alive, but a completely different person. That there's nothing left of my sister.
If she shows up here, let someone else handle it. You shouldn't be the one to take her out. That sticks with you.
Not sure I'll have a choice. He hesitantly takes your hand and tries his fingers through your own.
There are still a few hours left in the night. If you'd like to stay.
Why don't we try to get some rest? We're gonna need it tomorrow if we want to be at full strength.
My offer still stands. The bed's big enough for the both of us.
I might just take you up on that. And so it begins. From the warm comfort of another's arms, you're jolted awake. The room's still dark, but an alarm sounding throughout the building. They're here. The Horde's here. Dirk betrayed you, taking you prisoner. You got the sense he regretted turning on you, but still thought he was doing the right thing. That's why I let him live. Blackstock was killed. Boy, you know, that's a real shame. You chose to spare the traitors, allowing them to remain in your colony despite Sledge's protests. You allowed May and the other children to build flower beds, boosting everyone's morale. You spent a final moment with everyone. Literally everyone. Yeah, just keep going. Yep, just keep going. Zombies attacked in the middle of the night before the solstice has truly begun. That's just the queen moving her shit up. And seriously, it's just the queen moving her shit up. Yeah, boy. All right. Next chapter. It begins. So, and hopefully ends. Without further ado, love your beautiful faces. Thank you for watching. Please remember to do what's on the screen. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. It'd be great to have you here. And then if you want to, feel free to support the channel. Especially the fact that I'm having to, you know, buy VIP, diamonds, the whole 9 yards. It'd be great if you helped. You know, there's a lot of links. There's the join feature on YouTube. There's, you know, a lot of things that you can do to give back. If you can't, though, that's fine. You know, feel free to always watch the videos without any sort of, like, ad block on. It's pennies in a bucket. You know, it's like the old saying, drops in a bucket. It's something better than nothing, you know. And then there's also, you know, you sharing this community, you sharing this channel, the videos and everything else. You know, more people come in, more people watch, more people hopefully stay. Be great to have them here, you know. That's what I'm trying to build is a community. that isn't divided by that stupid crap that Eli talked about, right? I don't, and I've been trying to say this, and it's one of the things that upset me back when it happened, and I'm not going to harp on it, but it's one of those things that upset me back in the day when people started that garbage, and they started basically lying about me and trying to say I was one way or another with no proof whatsoever. And I'll say this, and I'll continue to say this. Race, gender, all of it, it means nothing. It literally and figuratively means nothing. The only time that it should matter is if you're wanting to pursue a love interest, right? And your doctor. That's it. All the rest of it is completely irrelevant. And while we are in the present, right, and this moment will soon become history, in the future, people will look back on this. And they will see, hopefully, if things go the way I hope they do, they will see this as one of the stupidest times in our lives. That people cared such about irrelevant things. When, if people focused more on the love and the actual problems in this world, if we focused on those two things, life would be a lot better for everyone. If we worked together to fix all of our problems. You know? Again, they keep us divided, don't they? You know, we talk about, you know, that old Dem versus Repub, and, you know, and then they got in the middle people, and then left versus right, and all this other garbage. It's garbage. It's just that. When you see through where I am at, and I say this, the 24th century, right? I'm in the 24th century. It's pointless because neither side gives a crap about you, and we have to care as ourselves, our fellow man and woman and child and whatnot need to care about ourselves, not these 80-year-olds serving in governments and everything else. Those are people that are corrupt. They don't care about you, and they never have, and they never will. It's all appeasement at this point. They're having $1,500 lunches while you ain't spending $1,500 in months on your own food. Okay? Think about that. Love your beautiful faces. Much love. Catch you all later. Peace out.